It has the potential to revolutionize.
It's a fast forward button on technology.
On AI, we look at
AI displacement in the jobs number today.
With AI, the ScheduleBot specific,
Helping agents and agencies be more efficient.
With AI.
New warning on artificial intelligence.
This is the full playbook for dominating your insurance market with AI. This is a combination of actual systems covering referral partner acquisition, AI automation for follow-ups and operations, and how to position yourself so that prospects choose you over every other insurance agency in your niche. All I can say is that tens of hours of work went into this and that we've done tons of projects to back these ideas up. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. So if you've watched me start off this video, you probably thought that I was serious, and of course there's a lot to be serious about here. This is the full insurance agency growth system consisting of two straightforward pillars that I have broken down probably into some of the easiest to execute steps that you can find. If I zoom in, there are two main pillars. Number one is going to be a referral network. So we're going to be exploring how you can acquire new referral partners tailored to exactly what kind of offer you have. And the second pillar is going to be AI automation. This will be for automating your nurture and follow-up sequences, having AI agents that answer incoming calls, handle your CRM for you, make sure that there's no reason for why you should be dropping leads other than them not being fit for your offer. Now, if I haven't made this clear enough, the goal with this video is to help you dominate your niche. Your niche can be understood in different ways. If you're in life insurance, you could call that a niche. If you're in life insurance and you're in annuities, that's a more specific niche. The goal here is to make you true experts in who you are and build systems to support your expertise. And with that said, let's just get into the first pillar, which is going to be building your referral network. Now, when I talk about a referral network, I refer to the process of connecting with potential referral partners, and this is going to vary based on what kind of insurance you're into. So for example, if you're in P&C, some of your better referral partners might be real estate agents and mortgage brokers or loan officers. As a life insurance agent, you might benefit more from CPAs, perhaps maybe wealth advisors and estate attorneys, but we'll get into all of that. So with each of those two pillars, I'll go down to the more bulky section over here to show you what this actually looks like and what we do. And then I'll actually give you the exact set of tools that we use to achieve this outcome. And so here's an asset I created that I called the referral partner map. And I've sectioned it off by insurance line because even though many people think insurance is pretty much the exact same annoying thing, there's a lot of nuance, as I'm sure you know. There's probably no need to watch the best referral partners for P&C insurance. Now, as someone who's in P&C insurance, what you're fundamentally doing is selling home and auto insurance. You might also dabble into umbrella and commercial, but regardless of what you're into, I can say that these four referral partners can often work for you. For our tier 1 referral partners, we're going to have realtors as well as mortgage brokers. Now, if we turn on our common sense here, every buyer usually needs home insurance and auto insurance at closing. Now, because this buyer has trusted this real estate agent to carry out and manage such a large and important transaction for them, warm introductions from real estate agents are very effective and can carry 50% or higher close rates. Now, each referral partner, whether it be a real estate agent or a loan officer or somebody else, is probably going to send you different amounts of referrals. But typically a good target for someone who's starting out with this entire referral network thing is going to be 5 to 10 active local agents. If you consistently build up your relationship with them, you should soon have referrals coming in. Next up, we're going to have mortgage brokers, which are similar to loan officers. They're also going to be a tier 1 partner. Because if you think about it, mortgage brokers and loan officers, they're also involved with homes like real estate agents, and lenders usually require proof of insurance at closing, and a referral here is basically mandatory. If you can become the number 1 name they give, you're setting yourself up well. And the target here are going to be local and MLS listed brokers. Now, the way we actually do this, as I'll explain when I finish talking about each of these referral partners, is we actually automate this entire process of outreach. And the reason for that is so you can contact as many potential referral partners as possible. It's sometimes difficult to get your hands on the NMLS registry exactly, but it's possible to get loan officers in other places. Now, for our tier 2 partners, we're going to have general contractors as well as auto dealers. The reason general contractors are so powerful is because things like renovations trigger policy reviews. If you just added an entire new bathroom or a new section to your house, logically your home insurance policy is going to need a review. And this can also be involved in commercial, but some of your main targets will include roofing companies, remodelers especially, as well as HVAC. Now with auto dealers, this is going to be pretty straightforward. A buyer obviously needs auto insurance before they drive off. In many states, it's illegal to be driving if you don't have auto insurance. And if you think about it psychologically, when someone is buying their car, they're probably more excited than they usually are. And if you can catch people in those happy moments where they are more open to getting something like insurance just so they can hit the ground running with their new car. You can sign way more policies, and in this case, your target would be independent dealers first. The reason for this is that there's less compliance, and it's usually easier to build relationships with those independent dealers. Moving on to life insurance, for my agents and agencies into life insurance, we're going to have 4 more referral partners. Now with life insurance, there are obviously a range of products that you can sell. There's term, there's whole, there are IULs, there are annuities, there are buy-sell agreements, there's final expense. There's just so much you can do. But regardless, with people like estate attorneys, because if you think about it, matters like wills plus trusts, they're going to trigger life insurance needs. And this is a high trust referral. Estate attorneys are very serious people, and the matters they work on are very serious. And so the more serious a referral partner is, the more likely you are to establish trust. And here the specific target would be estate planning and probate attorneys. There are plenty of ways to search them up. We'll get into this later, but there are things like Google Maps, among many other places where this sort of target audience can be found. Next up, we're going to have CPAs, financial advisors, and wealth managers. These are also going to be tier 1 partners, and the reason for this is that for people like CPAs, tax season can surface protection gaps, and obviously with protection gaps and taxes, those are both very serious to find someone who can take care of their problem. And if their accountant actually sends them someone who can help, that's a bonus for both the accountant and you. And moreover, these CPAs and financial advisors and wealth managers can often pitch the IUL as something that gives you an advantage with your taxes, so it turns out to be natural, which is why the target for these people specifically would be CFPs, CPAs, and RIAs. Moving on to our tier 2 people, we're going to have mortgage brokers as well as business brokers. Now, a good portion of new homeowners are going to be buying their first home. And this is obviously a new life stage. And if they likely need home insurance, they're often going to need life insurance. And what can be done here is they can both be bundled. And this is where there is an overlap between P&C insurance as well as life insurance. Not only can referral partners be outside of insurance, but they can also be within the insurance space as a whole. So in case a P&C licensed agent has a lead that could also benefit from life insurance, they can call you up, which is why this is yet another power play. And now that I think about it, I should have put P&C insurance agents as a referral partner, but you get the gist. This is very clear. The target is just the same broker network as P&C. And besides mortgage brokers, we would have business brokers. Business sales are yet another serious thing, and they trigger very important buy-sell agreements. Keyman life insurance is often mandatory at close, so in this case, you would be targeting mergers and acquisitions advisors as well as SBA lenders. Finally, for my Medicare and health people, I really respect the work that you do here. Let me introduce you to the 4 referral partners I have written out for you here. Now, Medicare and health can also be a pretty broad collection of products like Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Supplement, Group, and so on. Products for people over 65, products for people under 65. It is a really varied space, but I can promise that for pretty much anyone in here, one of these referral partners is going to hit just right. Tier 1 is going to be primary care physicians. Patients are often going to ask doctors about Medicare options, and like I say here, the most unbeatable trust I can think of in referral partners is going to be endorsement from a doctor or a physician. Because if you trust someone to handle your health, you'll probably trust their recommendation for Medicare. And the target here is going to be family medicine as well as geriatrics practices. And like with all other referral partners, this is a huge win-win. Not only are doctors able to build more trust with their patients, but you're also able to help the people that need it. Next up, we're going to have hospital discharge planners. This mainly concerns patients who are leaving the hospital and need coverage fast. Absolutely urgent scenario. When pain points are present, you have a motivated buyer. So the target in this case would be case managers at regional hospitals. These people are more difficult to reach because obviously hospitals are medical institutions, but it's far from impossible. And if done right, you can have some very strong referral partners. Tier 2 is going to involve senior living advisors, specifically seniors that are transitioning to assisted living need. Now, obviously, a transition to assisted living is a big step in someone's life. A trusted advisor referral is absolutely perfect for this kind of scenario. Targets for this would include a place for mom advisors, as well as people involved in real estate transactions for seniors. Lastly, we're going to have HR and benefits brokers, also a very solid tier 2 partner, and this usually involves small business employees that are losing group coverage and need individual ACA or Medicare options. The targets in this case would be HR consultants, payroll firms, as well as PEOs, which are all involved with employees. When you have employees working for you, obviously one of your main interests at heart is making sure that all of their insurance is taken care of. So now with all referral partners covered, and I hope you were able to skip to your section and get information on the correct referral partners you should be targeting, we can move on to how we actually do this. Now, obviously, our goal here is to be getting inbound referrals, in an ideal world, we will fully thrive off of inbound referrals. But the way we actually get these referral partners is typically through outbound outreach. And the reason for this is that you can do something like cold calling, but cold calling scales only with your effort, which is why we prefer a more automated approach. Typically, this approach involves an outbound strategy, and this strategy is going to be SMS plus email. And the way this SMS and email sequence would work is we first get leads from Sales Navigator. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Sales Navigator is a separate product from LinkedIn, and it's basically a database of everyone on their platform, which includes their contact details like their name, their company website, and all of that, which using advanced systems, we can then enrich with their emails as well as their phone numbers. And after we get all of those details, we can use something like Go High Level to set up SMS campaigns and start contacting those people, as well as start sending emails in Instantly. Now, there are two different ways to go about this, and you can launch a campaign in Instantly and a campaign in Go High Level that are together connected. You can send an email on day 1, for example, then send a text message on day 2, another email on day 4, a text message on day 10, and whatever, and keep going until you either get a no or you get an interested reply and can book a call. And if you're wondering what this looks like in terms of cost, if you plan to do this yourself at a good enough scale, this would require a monthly budget of around $300 to $400. If you do it with us, you actually don't have to pay for your Sales Navigator subscription or your Go High Level subscription. And if you're interested in finding out more details about that, you can actually book a free one-on-one consultation with us using the first link in the description so we can talk more details. But if you want more specific details on how you can actually do this, check out my other video here where I actually explain how we built a $1.1 million referral partner generation system for a PNC insurance agency based off of email. In that video, which will probably pop up somewhere over here, I'll explain the A to Z strategy on how you can source your ideal referral partners, then how to set up your email campaigns, how to launch those email campaigns, and finally how to convert interested referral partners into calls and people that will actually send you leads. So if you're interested, I have that video on my channel. But now that we've covered the referral partner map by each insurance line, we can move on to the second of the 3 pillars. And you heard me right. Previously, I said that there would be 2 pillars, but for those of you who have been watching the video up until this point, I actually have a third unofficial pillar down here, which I'll explain after we cover the second pillar. Now, the second pillar, as I said before, is going to be AI automation. And the way this works is essentially you plug in AI into all of the parts of your business that don't necessarily require your involvement. And for some people, this might seem a bit abstract, but at this point, you can automate a fair deal of your work without ever getting involved in it. So let's say you're on a sales call, you can actually create an AI agent that can have real-time access to the transcript that was spoken. It can give you live advice on compliance, what kind of disclosures you need to provide, objection handling techniques, and so on. And that's just one example. Let's go ahead and dive into the rest. Usually, I love categorizing the automation stack into 5 core operations processes. We'll go through them one by one, but you can see here that the list will consist of lead response, lead nurture, quoting and proposal generation, policy renewals, as well as review collection. Starting off with lead responses, just to put how this would work in perspective, let's say you're running Facebook ads, and a lead submits an ad form or a questionnaire of some sort, basically anything that opts them into your sales. What happens immediately after, within 30 seconds, is an AI caller is going to call them. And I actually didn't include the third step in between. It isn't really much of a step, but the AI caller can go down 2 paths. If you're an agent and you prefer to have full control of the conversation, this AI caller can simply greet the person and thank them for reaching out and submitting the form, then simply transfer over the call to your phone number. What it can also do is it can handle the full process by itself, so qualify the lead on the call, book them to your calendar, and have the CRM auto-log the outcome, basically push them from just the status of being a lead to being booked on an appointment. And just to keep it simple, because there are many use cases, for setting up your own simple agent calendar, you can use something like Calendly. And for a CRM, one of my favorite, if you don't have one yet, you're still looking for one, or maybe you want to change yours, Go High Level is probably going to be your number 1 choice. HubSpot also works well, but getting Go High Level is an absolutely great move. The second aspect to this is going to be lead nurture. Now, lead nurture is very important. Most agents don't do this, let alone automate it. At this point, what you can do is set up pretty intelligent AI workflows that are going to handle this this for you. So if a lead doesn't answer within a certain time frame, and this can be customized to your sales cycle, your product, your offer, you can start sending them SMS and email sequences. And of course, these can also be customized according to your cycle. And not only can you actually include SMS and also emails, but you can include similar AI call agents as we explored in this first process here, so that if a lead picks up or replies, this can instantly be routed to the agent so that they don't have to be dialing or emailing or texting those people themselves, but only get alerted when a warm lead is coming straight to them. Once again, the software for this is going to involve Go High Level. It's not as much going to involve Instantly. For the sake of keeping it simple, I'll cross that out, but Go High Level as your CRM, which can send text messages as well as emails, as well as NAN for automating, are going to be the top two software picks. Moving on to process number 3, which is quoting and proposal generation. I actually explored this in another video. You can check it out. I'll probably pop it up somewhere over here. But this works in similar principle to the use case I first explained, where you can have a live AI assistant on the phone with you, giving you information about how to handle objections, except in this case, AI is going to wait until the call ends and then collect the information. Based off of the information collected, it can then use a template or spin up a brand new proposal or quote, generate that document, build a proposal that's branded to you, so it looks like you put in a lot of time and care into creating this offer for them. And this can also be emailed before or after the meeting and set up with something like an e-signature, which basically just means that you can send them the document and they can sign off on it online. And this is really going to vary based on your agency. Maybe you're using something like EasyLinks or Applied Radar, but in one way or another, if you're obviously looking to automate your policies and your quotes, you're going to need a generation software for that. For moving on to use case 4, which is going to be policy renewal. This is very important for just reducing churn and keeping your client relationships in check. If you're tracking your renewals, which you hopefully should be doing, you can set up things like 60-day renewal trigger, where custom AI workflows are going to send you review emails, requote if the rates have changed, as well as book review calls if needed. Also have cross-sell triggers on renewals. And this is where it gets powerful, where you're not only treating policy renewals as something that reduces churn, but also as something that helps you sell more products. But even the simplest form of a workflow for policy renewal probably looks something like having an AI workflow automatically create a calendar reminder on the day when the renewal is due. So let's say someone's policy ends in March, you can have a calendar reminder set to a correct date, so you can follow up with them, check in with them, promptly renew their policy. For the software, you can expect to use your agency management service, so AMS 360, Hawksoft, whatever it be, as well as something like Go High Level, your CRM, or just a simple calendar like I mentioned, and also NAN for your renewal workflow. Finally, we're going to have review collection. Now, this can really vary based on the product you're selling, but the core principle is the same. Someone in insurance, it's your job to build up trust because people are putting their car, their home, whatever it may be, straight into your hands and trusting that you handle them correctly. For this exact reason, once you've built up enough trust with a client, for example, you signed them 3 months ago, you've been checking in with them, you've been providing timely service and help to them, you can have automations send out thank you SMSs with Google review links or maybe your website links, as well as reminder messages. And after collecting reviews, you can then prompt them to give more referrals. So not only are we using B2B referral partner generation here, but using AI automation and actually automating operations processes, you can get referrals from your leads. And this is really how you build up that flywheel of having a powerful referral partner acquisition setup, as well as operations automation. And the software involved with this is going to be something like Go High Level, optionally a tool like Birdeye or NiceJob to automate the review handling process, as well as good old NAN for the actual workflow that keeps all of these processes going. And before moving on to our unofficial third pillar, a key idea I want to highlight here is going to be that all 5 processes run without the agent touching anything. The goal of automating your operations with AI and workflows, minimizing the amount of time that you're spending on processes that aren't client-facing and allow you to play the sales game as much as possible. And finally, the third pillar, before I really get into it, I want to make sure that I'm making its purpose very clear. I'm sure we've all seen a bunch of different AI tools popping up all over the place. There's hundreds of them. There's even thousands of them. But what many agents and agencies simply don't get is that tools aren't something magical. Just because you use them, that doesn't mean they'll grow your agency. The mistake most of them make is they attach themselves or buy a certain tool and hope that the tool will solve a certain problem. But there are only so many ways to optimize the processes within your agency, generate more leads, improve your lead conversion, that it really makes no sense to be mapping thousands of tools that are available to only a few problems that you experience. So a process I actually developed through battle testing and endless iteration on some of the projects that we've done. And if you'd like to learn more about it, you're welcome to book a free one-on-one consultation with me using the first link in the description. But this is called the AI Clarus overview, and Clarus in Latin means clear. So what we're trying to do here is establish clarity on your strategy with AI. What I have over here are tons of different tools, and I've discussed some of them. We have Instantly, we have things like NAN, Go High Level maybe, but really the goal with automating your agency and lead generation processes like referral partner acquisition is going to be to map your problems and growth opportunities to the tools and not the other way around. So oftentimes a good way to do this is essentially create a matrix. And in this case, a matrix is going to be a 4-section box that's going to allow you to rate your opportunities. And the way this matrix works is we have 2 axes. What you would call the x-axis is going to be the impact. So if you think about it, the further left you go, the less impact there's going to be. And the further right you go, the more impact there is going to be. And the y-axis, the one that's based on the height, is going to be effort. So something over here will be high effort, something over here will be low effort. And so there are 4 different combinations based on the impact and the effort that we can have. So you can guess that something like this would probably be your worst bet. It's something that's very high effort, and at the same time, it has a very low impact on what you do. Something that would be more beneficial for your business would be these opportunities over here. But the best choice you can possibly make is going for these low effort, high impact activities. I'm not saying that you should be lazy, but I'm talking about optimizing your time and energy to make the smartest improvements that you can. And so your goal as an insurance agent or agency should be to map out your opportunities, optimizations, improvements you think you can make to your business and grab them in these 4 boxes. And by the end, hopefully you'll end up with something like this, a much clearer way of looking at what changes you can make, how you can automate your business, because at the end of the day, all of these things have been battle tested and they are extremely helpful. But every agency is different, everyone runs their own operation, and there are different ways to be successful, don't get me wrong, but there are also different ways to expedite and actually drive your success. So this is going to be an absolutely essential idea that you should keep in mind when you're going ahead and making serious moves in automating your operations and solidifying your lead generation. And of course, once you've identified and categorized each of these opportunities, you are then able to match each potential project or action that you can take to the tools instead of matching a tool to an action that might not be worth your time. So with this third, unofficial, and potentially unexpected pillar, that's really all I have to say for this video. I hope it was useful for you to see these 2 main ways that you can take action. I know there's a lot of advice out there, like a 10-step framework to grow your agency, but honestly, these are the only 2 pillars that you need to really start changing things for how you run your insurance business. And this over here should be treated as the lens, or maybe as the glasses that you look at the situation with. After all, this is the AI Clarus overview. You're making things clear, you're bringing clarity to what you're doing. Hopefully you'll be crushing it in no time. And for those of you who got to the end of the video, I really appreciate you for sticking around. You're clearly serious about your growth. And so if you're really looking to expedite your success, I have 2 things that will help you. Number 1 is going to be the free one-on-one consultation. That's still up for grabs. I usually open up only 3 spots per video, but hopefully there's quite a few left. So that's that. But if you're looking to connect with other like-minded agents that are looking into AI and automation and not just some sort of growth for their agency, which can be a very broad term, you can join the Insurance Agency Masterminds community. That's going to be the second link below. That's completely free. You get to access this entire resource that I went through in the video just by joining. There's no catch, I promise. But otherwise, as I said, keep crushing it, keep selling more policies, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.